What goes perfect with a cup of coffee? A perfect piece of coffee cake, of course. I love coffee cake and coffee. I think it's a great combination, especially in the fall. So today I'm going to share with you my favorite coffee cake recipe. Pronto? Allora andiamo a cucinare. Ciao my friends, welcome to my kitchen. This is where I teach you easy, healthy recipes for everyday cooking. And today we're gonna make this fall coffee cake that is super simple. So to start, we wanna have a stick of butter. And to that we wanna add some sugar. And then we just wanna blend it until it is all emulsified and nice and light and creamy and airy. Then we wanna add 2 eggs, one at a time until well incorporated. We're going to add about a tablespoon of vanilla extract. We want to finally add the last bit of our wet ingredients, which is a 1/4 cup of milk and 1 cup of sour cream. And I just kind of blended it all together to kind of thin out the sour cream a little bit. And so we just want to add that until it's all well incorporated. So to that we're going to add a tablespoon of baking powder. I'm just going to lightly dust that in here. I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda. And then for our spice mix, I'm adding a 1/4 teaspoon of allspice and a 1/4 teaspoon of mace. Now if you don't have mace and you'd rather do nutmeg, that's fine too, or if you just want to add like your own fall favorite spice, that's totally fine. So now I'm just going to blend this up until these are well incorporated. Okay. Now I'm going to add the flour just a little bit at a time, just so it doesn't like poof all over the place. And we're adding about 2 cups. Okay, so we can see our batter is nice and thick, and that's exactly what we want. Okay, now that our batter is done, I'm just gonna set that aside, and I want to butter the dish that we're gonna be using. And I have these cloth wet things, strips around here, and what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to keep your cake level so you don't have that big hump. So you just kind of wet them and then just put them around your cake pan. You can get them on Amazon. I know, I think Wilton sells them or something like that, but you can find them. But what I do want to do is I want to butter this, and because I already have some melted butter that we're going to be using, before I put it in our strudel topping, I want to go ahead and just brush the pan with it, just so I don't have to melt some more butter separate. I mean, the little bit of butter we're taking from here is really not going to make a difference. Now we want to prepare our streusel topping. And so in a bowl, I've got 1½ cups of chopped pecans. I happen to like pecans, but if you like walnuts or almonds or something else, I mean, by all means, you can use whatever it is that you want to use. I have some brown sugar. I have a little bit of flour. I also have 2 teaspoons of cinnamon that I'm adding. And I just want to kind of mix all this up together, just so that all those the cinnamon spice gets evenly incorporated. And then to that is I want to take the melted butter and I want to add that to this. And then we just want to mix up all that butter in with the flour and the spice, just so it's all evenly incorporated. So now we are ready to put our cake together. So to start with, we want to take our batter, and we only want to put about half of our batter in here. And we want to evenly spread this around. Make sure we fill in all the corners. All right, so now with the filling that we have, I'm going to add about half of this here and just kind of spread that. I like to have some of the filling in the middle of the cake. I think that's what kind of makes it a classic coffee cake. Now I'm going to take the rest of the batter, place it on top here. When you are spreading this out, if some of the nuts from the other level pop up, I mean, it's not really a big deal. Just kind of spoon over and level it all out and it'll be fine. All right, now that we have that all level, now we want to take the rest of our nut mixture and just evenly spread that out. Now we do want our oven preheated at 350 degrees. It should take anywhere from 50 to 60 minutes, but of course we can use a tester to make sure that it is cooked in the middle. You might want to just maybe press just a little bit down on this topping, just so that you make sure it goes in. Sometimes if you don't press down hard enough when you cut the cake, the topping falls all over the place and you lose it. And we don't want to lose any, we want to make sure it's all in there. So just give it a light press. And again, 350 degrees for 50 to 60 minutes, and I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. So the cake has come out, and oh my gosh, this kitchen smells fantastic. You can see that the cake is even, and that's what those fabric bands help. It keeps everything even. Otherwise, normally the middle is like humped up really high. So anyway, I am going to cut into this now that it's cooled for a little bit. See how beautiful that is? All right, so anyway, I am just gonna cut a little piece here. I've got my coffee ready and my cake here. I'm gonna try it. It is so good. I love it. I love the crumb topping. I love it. This is my favorite cake to have with coffee. I always look forward to it. Coffee cake is awesome. I hope you guys give this one a try and you have yourself a perfect cup of coffee with it. And until next time, I'm Chef Lucia and I'll see you. Ciao.